Hola, ¿cómo está? Una cerveza, por favor. El gatos en el pantalones. Hang on, let me check. I think I have it on Spanish. Are we good now? Okay. I always forget to click the mic button down at the bottom because I have it on its own channel. I guess I am a very strange individual. So welcome to our Monday event. I try to come on every Monday and cover news that's been happening within the role-playing game world, Kickstarters and the like that are coming up or active, awesome things that are going on with people in the industry that we know, and then sharing book donations. I really should measure how tall this stack is. I happen to have a broken tape measure. Well, the measurement's not broken. Well, that stack is 3.5 feet. That's that's a foot and a half, and then I've got more down below. Got a tape measure that won't retract, but I've been using the heck out of it. It'll soon go away. One of the stacks is 3.5 feet. This one is 17 inches, and that one is a bunch of books that I want to speak about very specifically. So a ton of books. Oh man, there's more. So yeah, there's more than. There's almost 5 foot of books. It's bonkers. If you don't know who I am your chief librarian at Alexandria RPG. Not a real librarian, I just LARP as one. What is Alexandria RPG? We're a non-profit role-playing game library. We travel events throughout North America, and we share role-playing games with as many people as possible, and we try to talk to people on how they can use role-playing games every day with at-risk teens, veterans of PTSD, stuff like that. There's amazing things you can do with these games. Least of all, you can just go have fun and hang out with other awesome people. Because we don't sit across from people and have a good day. Okay, so let's start digging in. If you remember, if you follow the library, a couple months ago, we got in a rather massive donation of like every Pathfinder 1 book that had come out. Well, we just got donated a bunch of Pathfinder books for 2nd edition. And let's see. YouTube, we got one person watching. Two people watching. We've got... How many here? Got a couple viewers here on the Twitch. And then we've got 7 over at Rumble. Awesome. See? Give that channel a chance and you'll... or give them a chance and you'll... we'll get them out of being in a rut of just being politics over there. Okay, so let's start in on seeing what we were gifted to the library, donated to the library this weekend. And this is going to be, oh my god, there's so much. Oh, we're going to start stacking stuff down here. Let's see. Pathfinder 2nd edition, Lost Omens, Pathfinder Society Guide. Ooh, camera move. Books will go there. The Game Mastery Guide, Pathfinder 2nd edition. Love the art they have used over the years. They have got a great team over there selecting art, it's nice when you have a good team that keeps a product consistent. Right, Neon Lords? I'm joking, you keep your product very consistent. Consistently crazy. Let's see, the Lost Omens World Guide. I need to speed up because... Woo! Pathfinder 2nd Ed GM screen. Love GM screens. Hang on. Gotta see if this is right. Okay, it's a low GM screen. Oh, geez, it's a 4-panel. Ugh. So, we got the long art. And there's tons of info in here. I kind of dig the low ones because I love having a GM screen so that I can fake dice rolls. And those low ones are kind of nice because you're not like totally segregated from your viewers or players. Let's see. Pathfinder, Bloodlords, Ghost King's Rage, A Taste of Ashes, The ghoul's hunger. I'm not a ghoul, but I'm always hungry. Hence why I'm a large man. Dreamers of the nameless spires, gatewalkers. They watch the stars. The seventh arch. I wonder if you go through the seventh arch, but it takes you 7 years. If you get a 7-year itch. See. Yes, the library made out like bandits yesterday. So Lost Omens is the world line. Oh, yes. Lost Omens. Yes, Lost Omen was the world line. Sorry, yes, so there's a consistency within Pathfinder stuff. So this is Bloodlords. So next 3 books, all Bloodlords. And then this is Field of Maidens. This is the adventure path is Bloodlords. Graveclaw. And Zombie Feast. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I want to go to a zombie feast. As a zombie hunter. Let's see. Outlaws of the Alkaline Star, Adventure Path, The Smoking Gun. Cradle of Quartz. I need a sound dead in this room. Punks in a Powder Keg. There's so much echo in here. I can hear the echo not on mic. Let's see. Quest for the Frozen Flame. Burning Tundra book. Lost Mammoth Valley. And Broken Tusk Moon. Oh, there's no echo on this side. Well, I do have a mic right here, so it's set up to not pick up as much. It is really focused on me, so it's probably not picking up the echo that I hear. Gatewalkers, that one's on your checkout list. Well, you'll be able to check it out at, if you remind me, I'll try to bring it to PAX West. PF2, yes, that is Pathfinder 2. This is the Agent of Edgewatch. Devil in the Dreaming Place. Ooh, I want to go to the Dreaming Place. No. So at Emerald City, we tend to go till, at PAX, we tend to go till midnight. But I think if you download the app, it's PAX Expo app or something like that. I think it has gaming going till 10 p.m., but it might be till midnight. I got to double check on that one. We typically go until midnight and then we close down. And yes, the smoke is very heavy. I was not liking this morning. Let's see, 60 feet under. Just when 6 feet under isn't enough. All or Nothing. Assault on the Hunting Lodge 7. Belly of the Black Whale. And Ruins of the Radiant Siege. Okay, yeah, there you go. Lackey had the everything right. There we go. So it's 10 to 10, 10 to 10, 10 to 10, and 10 to 6 on the last day. And just because we close at 10 doesn't mean we're booting you out. It's the nothing will start. So if there's people in there that are already in the middle of a game, or they're kind of tailing up a game, we'll let them finish. Yeah, PAX Nav, that's the new one. Delete the old one. Let's see. Well, actually, the Cascades really aren't what's burning. Well, the Cascades up in Canada are burning. It's over in Spokane that is burning in Washington State. Let's see. Age of Ashes. Hell Knight Hill. Cult of the Cinders. Tomorrow Must Burn. Ooh. Fires of the Haunted City. Against the Scarlet Triad. And then Broken Promises. Never trust a dragon, no matter what color. And then let's see. This was for Pathfinder playtest, pre-second edition, their second edition beta. Doomsday Dawn. PAX U, PAX U. Yes, cannot wait for PAX Unplugged. All right, we got a bunch of shows between now and then, though. Let's see. Strength of Thousands. Kindled Magic. Spoken on the Song Wind. Hurricanes Howls. Secrets of the Temple City. Doorway to the Red Star. And Shadows of the Ancients. Oh my god, there's so much. Ugh, we're gonna blow through the rest of these modules. Let's see. Fists of the Ruby Phoenix. Despair on Danger Island. Danger. Ready, fight. Ready, fight. King of the Mountain. For Abomination Vaults. I still love the name of that one. Runes of the Gauntlet. Hands of the Devil. Eyes of Empty Death. Let's see. Extinction Curse. The show must go on. No game hole this year. Yes, that is right. Legacy of the Lost God. Life's Long Shadow. Siege of the Dinosaurs. Lord of the Black Sands. And the Apocalypse Prophet. Whew. So that's all the Pathfinder 2nd Edition modules that we've gotten. We got the Bestiary. Bestiary 2. Yeah, so if you're going to Gamehole Con, heads up, Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland will have a table there. And then Bestiary 3. We're going to talk more about Neon Lords later in the show. If my internet doesn't go bonkers again. Let's see. Pathfinder Dark Archive. So much Pathfinder. Oh, I have like a foot and a half of Pathfinder. Book of the Dead. Absalom. Ugh. City of Lost Omens. Poster Map Folio. The Mawaji Expense. I am probably pronouncing that incredibly long. Then, let's see. Impossible Lands. No lands are impossible. The Advanced Player's Guide. I always love stuff like this. Secrets of Magic. Guns and Gears. Or if you listen to some music in the late 90s, early 2000s, you got Bottles and Guns. See if you can find that band. Treasure Vault. Lead singer came from another band. Lost Omens Character Guide. Lost Omens Legends. Lost Omens Knights of Last Wall. I want the first wall. And Grand Bazaar. All Lost Omens books. The Lost Omens Traveler Guide. The Lost Omens Ancestry Guide. Lost Omen Gods and Magic. And Lost Omens Monsters of Myth. They're all myth until you meet them face to face. I swear, mankind doesn't exist. And then I met him once. He's got tiny hands. Let's see. This is not Pathfinder. This is a game called Eros. Sits on your bookshelf like this and slides out this way. But it does this for a reason. It's because the books are long ways. So in there, let's see. Why did my camera go all fuzzy? I don't know. Hang on, come on, wake up, camera. Why are you doing silly things? Ah, my face. Well, that was interesting. Blur the treason. Because it wants a break. Let's see. So, Eros Essence. Don't know much about this game. We got this from the auction at Dragonflight this year. If you don't know what Dragonflight is, look up Dragonflight Con. It is a really cool local convention. This year there were just under 1,000 attendees, and the whole convention is just people to come play games. Yes, I agree. Horizontal books are go against God. I'm not a fan of horizontal books, but they put them in this one. They at least put in a sleeve, and then they put the name proper, so that you can actually put them on your bookshelf. Even though you gotta make sure you squeeze it so they don't fall out. I am thoroughly not a fan of horizontal books. Doing stuff for the library, the horizontal books are. Okay, so we got several books for the Universal Horizons. This came out in 2014, printed in the U.S. We don't know much about it. This is the beta edition of the Player's Handbook. And we were looking through some of the... So there's a bunch of interesting stuff. They released like 6 or so books. So Bug Hunt, Discovering Devonia, part 1 of 6. And that's not the... I mean, there's... I don't know if they made all 6 of these. Because we've got Universal Horizons, Bloodtooth Vocations. This is designed to go into a binder. Ad time. Oh, that was it. I told me ad break and then said ad break's done. Well, then also for the Universal Horizons, we got Bloodtooth Paradox. It's a trip, and Bloodtooth Adventure, Saving the Superior. So this is based in the 80s, and you're trying to save a ship, and then there's the year is 1980. So you're trying to save a ship, and you're using everyday 1980 stuff, but fighting like ghosts and the like. Then here's just one that was part of the group. It was just printed off. I don't think they ever got around to it, but Bloodtooth Paradox, it's a blast. So we've got some really interesting stuff. Horizontal books are awesome to look at, and I love them just when they go on the shelf. Yeah. And I love opening a horizontal art book or BattleTech schematic. I absolutely... So if you're inclined to ever make something with a landscape book, make sure you have a sleeve or something so it can stand on its end and everybody can actually put it in with other books. Let's see. Fireborn, the role-playing game, the GM's Guide, and the Player's Handbook. So we can play this game. I don't know much about it. It came out. It's old Fantasy Flight, 04. Wow. Lead developer Rob Vaughn. Doesn't ring a bell. But just because I don't remember a name doesn't mean anything, because I suck at remembering names. I only remember mine because people, shouted at me. Hey, you! See, we have Imagine, the Player's Guide. So don't know much about this, but I love the next book we have for it. We've got the DM's Guide. So this is the Master's Manual, but if you look at the art, now I need to make sure I get this showing up on screen right. Let's see. Okay, so you got your GM over here. I'm going to pick his nose. And then he has a jar right here. It says goblins, and he's dumping them out onto the world. Tell me that is not one of the most unique and creative and exactly what some of us think of when we are playing as GMs. This is probably in my now top 10 favorite art covers on a book, because look at that guy's face. He's like, it's exactly what I do. I just dump goblins out on people every day. Okay, so if you've played any of the Cortex systems, you know that they did a lot of movie and TV show tie-ins. We already have leverage, so we have 2 leverages. We can now, extra, leverage things, and we can do better about running a game of leverage if we find people that want to play. But in the same system, you can play Smallville. You too can play for 10 years and never fly as Superman. And it was like towards the end of the series he finally flew. The character sheet for late 2nd edition D&D. Whee! Like 2.5. Let's see. This is the player's options, spells, and magic for AD&D 2.5. Yes, so you'll see a difference. So we got donated the 2nd edition DM's Guide, and then the 2nd edition DM's Guide. Do you see the difference? This is 2nd edition, and the black books are kind of like 2.5, and they are different thicknesses. See, you get the player's options, skills, and powers. Yes, we had a lot of donations. I'm still not through the 3-foot stack, and I have, let's see. This is the Monsters Manual. So when 2nd edition came out, you could buy a binder and all the monster pages for a 3-ring binder. And when you bought new settings and stuff, you got new pages to put in your binder, and I loved it. And they were so badly made because those binders were constantly destroyed. The holes were constantly ripping out of off your monster pages and stuff. So they finally said, okay, when they went to 2.5, we got a monsters manual. And then let's see, what do we have here? Let's see. Because this came from a GM because 3 players' handbooks, because players are constantly not showing up with their books. The Monsters Compendium Annual Volume 1. This has a boatload of dragons in it. Ooh, there's a Mimic. Where did it go? Mimic! Mimic, House Hunter. Oh, that sounds like a better show than the House Hunter's normal show that we get on cable. Let's see. We got a map. It's an old 2nd ed map. I don't know what it goes to. Let's see. Love the older 2 covers. That is what we had growing up. Yeah, a lot of people grew up with the original 2nd ed AD&D. The AD&D 2.5, the black covers, they actually weren't printed as much. That was, they thought, oh, hey, we're getting more people playing. We're gonna kick these out, and they just didn't sell that well. The binder idea was great. It was executed awfully. Let's see. So, a gentleman we had on a couple weeks ago, and just totally blanked on his name. Chris. He made the game Bash. So he just had a Kickstarter that completed, did pretty well. It's an expansion for one of his other games. So he sent us a copy of Bash Ultimate Edition. So this is his superhero system. Then the Bash Ultimate Edition also empowers Omnibus. So you can play with the base book and then really stretch out or get more powers and cool stuff to make your superheroes more cooler. And then he put out Honor and Intrigue, the swashbuckling RPG, and his expansion was for this. Lackey is in the Twitch chat explaining some of our Discord layout, and I just have the hang on. Turbo chug a Kool-Aid. Over on Rumble, Jarvis said he'd love to go to the dreaming place sometime, being a chronic insomniac. Sorry, I missed your message. That was back on the Pathfinder stuff. trying to figure out how to view the comments on all three at the same time. It's a lot tougher than it sounds. Let's see. We got donated Wraith the Oblivion. Nice core rulebook. Where do we go for me? Oh, I need to open this up. Dusk City Outlaws. It's very board game like, but it is a role playing game, as it says on the. Yes, it is. It is hard to read chats from three chats at the same time. This is a role playing game that is very much made like like a board game. This is one I'm going to have to tear into with an overhead. This weekend, all the rest of my stuff from my office downstairs is moving up so that I can actually have an overhead, and I've got sound treatment that'll go in here. Let's see, Mythic, the Game Master's emulator. Create dynamic role-playing adventures without preparation. Hey, that's how I GM all the time. I should have wrote this. Preparation. So, Cortex Plus, the Hacker's Guide. So, Leverage and Smallville earlier. Here's our something to make Cortex even more gooder. Yes, I said gooder. I said gutter. Most bestest. Let's see. We've got Shadow Force Archer. This was a D20 system with Spycraft. And it was put out by, AEG. I was like, why do I have to actually remember when it's on the when it's on the book? And then the Archer Foundation. So this is Archer and the Archer Foundation, all that. That was a super force within Spycraft. Think of it as like what was that? Oh dang it! The spy movie that came out with the Brits and the oh god, I love that movie too. Why can't I think of it all of a sudden? Well, yeah. No relation to Archer the Animated Series. So we got Aether Scope. This is put out by Goodman Games, and I believe it is a D20 system. Yes, Kingsman. Thank you. God, I love the Kingsman. All I could think of was part of the second movie's name, the Golden Snitch or whatever. But I love all three of those Kingsman movies. They're great. Let's see. Neon Lords, you wouldn't believe the number of people that were delighted to know you used the dust jacket for your... Oh yeah. So, every time we show off the special edition version of Neon Lords of the Toxic Wastelands, newest edition, because the dust screen, really cool. But on the inside of the dust screen is... it's either a one-shot or... is it a one-shot or is it a GM screen? I think it's just a one-shot, if I recall correct. But why don't more people do that? It's awesome. So, more for Aetherscope, Mysteries of the Occult, Upload Etherpunk, The Great Metropolis. It's a steampunk game. Yeah, it is a one-shot. Haha, my brain worked. Oh, and Aetherscope, just a delivery. It's just a delivery. Yeah, and Neon Lords RPG says he put a one-shot in there, and because it's just wasted space in there. And I love it when you open a book, and you're like, because this is all wasted space. There's more zines and small publications that are putting stuff in the insides. They're not wasting space. Hey, if it costs me less to put something here than it does to put another page inside, or even the same, but ultimately a big box of books is going to... Every single book in your being shipped is going to be 2 pages less if you can not waste the front and back cover. Oh, we get into some Earth Dawn. So we do have a core book in here. Let's see, Earth Dawn Magic: The Manual of Mystic Secrets. One of the last games put out by FASA. Let's see, this is their fantasy while they were doing Shadowrun. Thank you. Brain, why are you not working more gooder? It's getting warm in here. My AC is still broken. So, the Earth Dawn Companion. Game Mastering Earth Dawn. So this is the inside of the GM screen, which I think we actually have the GM screen. Earth Dawn Journal, because it was the 90s and we didn't really have the internet. The Book of Exploration. Legends of Earth Dawn. Earth Dawn was a really cool system. Oh, hey, look here. Here's the GM screen for Earth Dawn. Hey, back in the 90s, people were doing it right still. There were bad ones in the 80s and 90s, but there was good ones. Let's see. Denizens of Earth Dawn, Volume 1. Denizens of Earth Dawn, Volume 2. The Earth Dawn Choral Book, hardcover. The Bar Slave? The box set from Earth Dawn. I don't know much about this one. I played some Earth Dawn back in the 90s, but I didn't play it all. Some Starfinder stuff got handed to us. Got a couple flip maps, the hospital and the ghost ship. And then a couple copies of the Armory book. Then we got the old school Hunt of the Reckoning with a sticker on it. With, like, a bunch of Hunter books. Okay. Hunter book, Visionary. Martyr. Avenger. Not the Avengers. Defender. Not the old video game. Defender. Redeemer. Judge. Not Dread. And Innocent. No one's innocent in Hunter. Then we got some, we got some other stuff I want to talk about here. We got let me pop this open because you will not see it through the shiny, shiny packaging. It's not really all that shiny, but... Questlings RPG. I'm actually I really want to dig into this. It looks so adorable. See if you guys can see the back art well. So, it's a split scene. You've got a bunch of kids playing soccer, and then it's knights running in to defeat dragons. I find that super adorable. Finally got a copy of Fate Condensed. So, we've had the one Fate core rulebook. Now we have Fate Condensed. Got a book coming up here shortly to show that I really want Neon Lords to see. So, getting towards the end finally. We have Space 1889. I really love this. Imagine playing in the British Empire in the late 1800s, but then going to Mars. So it's, instead of being John Carter of Mars, it's British Empire of Mars. Then we got the Cloud Captains of Mars, Beastmen of Mars, Caravans of Mars, Step Lords of Mars, Canal Priests of Mars, or Canal Priests of Mars, more Tales from the Ether, and Tales from the Ether, and then a newer version. There was this is the last one before the one that just came out. I haven't read through this one. I've never seen this one before. And then there was a Kickstarter for newest Space 1889. And then Cloud Ships and Gunboats. So this is expanded rules for the ships and stuff in... this is the expanded rules for the ships and everything in 1889, in Space 1889, and then it also has like cutouts and everything. I'm looking forward to go through all this. How different are the versions of Fate? So you have Fate Accelerated, and Fate Condensed, and they just keep cutting rules out each time. So Fate Condensed is rules light as Fate can get, which most people didn't think it could be done after seeing Fate Accelerated, and a lot of people didn't think it could get much lighter after seeing Fate. Fate's a fairly rules-light system. or then it goes to accelerated, and then down to condensed. This is your entire rules, and you can jump in. It's really easy to teach people out of this. I mean, that's your character sheet. It's a one zine page. It's tiny, but it is a great like grab and go and one shot. So I talk about D6 a boatload. I love the D6 system, and sadly, West End Games that made D6 Star Wars. Hang on, there's a cobweb that like, wait, sorry, ooh shiny, sorry. So talk about D6 a lot. Yes, it still has the fate dice and modifiers and stuff, but it is like they continue to cut everything out, and like there's fluff in the original Fate rulebook, and like I don't think there's any fluff-esque things in the Fate condensed. It is just like, here's your rules. So back on D6. Huge fan of the D6 system. Very sad in 1999 when West End Games died. So the last D6 Star Wars book, the core book, came out in 97. And then 04, West End Games was purchased by another company, and the gentleman from West End, and I can't remember his name, stayed on. He became part of the new company as well, and they put out these D6 books, and this is when the D6 system actually became an open gaming system. And most people don't realize that it's been an open gaming system for nearly 20 years, because these came out in 04, and this is when they started making it an open system. So we finally got all three of the core books donated. So we got D6 Fantasy, D6 Adventure, we've had this one, and D6 Space. So instead of having the Force, you've got metaphysics, and instead of having Force points, the Force point is still around. But one of the cool things I forgot was in this D6 and Open D6, they added advantages and disadvantages. So when you're building out your character, you have to take advantages and disadvantages. And I love that because it makes people play not heroic characters. And I mean, if you want to go play heroic characters, you can still play a heroic character, but they have flaws. Yes, they were still on the shelves for quite some time. It was a number of years before the company that bought West End failed yet again, and somebody else has recently bought the name West End and using it on their stuff, but they're not using the D6 system. And I was like, hey, the D6 system is open. And then our last thing that we got in the mail, I think it's our last thing. Yes. Burger Punk. Yes, Neon Lords, you want to see this. Burger Punk is hilarious. This is the entire game. There is a librarian. Yes, this is the end of the Dragonfly. Well, actually, this isn't part of the Dragonfly Hall, but this was a Kickstarter. So it was funny because we backed this, and then I didn't get all the backer kit information and everything. And it was funny because I reached out like, hey, I got a message. You're sending the books. I never paid shipping. They're like, yeah, we know. And they signed it and sent it to us. So I'm going to read the little welcome to New McDonald Land. So welcome to New McDonald Land. It is the year 1997, and America has been destroyed. Fractured fast food alliances that once controlled empires over the shells. Let's see. Fractured fast food alliances that once controlled empires fight over the shells of ruined cities destroyed in the Cola Wars. While syrup-addicted survivors struggle to get by, the landscape is overrun with aggressive strains of high-fructose corn, and mysterious living meat has spread throughout the ecosystem, consuming and replacing more conventional fauna. And that's not even getting into the roving gangs of blood thieves, burger clown cultists, fried chicken militias, and Ren Fair rejects. It might not be the apocalypse anyone expected, but it is the one that happened. Welcome to Burger Punk. And you can go through, you got American Idolater, Burger Beasts, Cola Commandos, Ham Paths, High Fructose Corn Shamans, Road Warriors, and Techno, not that kind of Techno Mancers. And they made us a unnamed template for a librarian. Oh no, Karen I did not know Karen was a new donation. So we have another donation that didn't make it in here. As I'm going through stuff over the next few days, I will make sure Karen comes out and I can showcase that. So I'm glad that you are aware of this game, Neon Lords, because this is hilarious. We put it right next to your book this weekend after I got it in. Let's see. I finally doubted I should have given... I didn't know Karen was a new donation. And to Pulsar's motherships, they got put in another box that is already... I didn't remember which one of the boxes it got put into because it's nice and small. And I unloaded the car after work today and was not going to start digging through 40 boxes to find the little thing. So as I go through the library this week to prep for PAX West, I will make sure that I get those so that I can talk about them next week. And while you're here, if anybody has suggestions of books they would like to see at PAX or think that would go well at PAX West, or even, Neon Lords, you can suggest books that you want to see the library bring to PAX Unplugged, because we need that information ASAP, because we need to reach out and find out when we've got to drop off. Woo! Precons? Asking a question of someone else. Okay, that is all of the books. Oh god, that poor chair. I have 2 3-foot tall stacks of books on the chair next to me. Request 1E and 2E modules. Nice. Lots of modules. Okay, we can do modules. Okay. Where's my software? Stop looking at my silly face and let's go over to here. Okay. So, this... Oh, hang on, I don't want to move that. So this was brought up. So this is D&D Beyond, and everybody's been, WotC is really pushing to get into all the digital stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, what are they going to do with third party? Well, this is the first third party item to be officially up on D&D Beyond. It shows that they're willing to work with people, and they say they are. We don't know what the behind the scenes rates and stuff are, but it does show that moving forward, as D&D goes full digital, which is going to be down the road. It's not happening right now today, but they are going to have third party stuff, and they even have a little third party logo. Okay. This was shared with me through Discord, which this was published a little while ago. It's not news, but I'm in the military. I've been in the military. I'm in the National Guard. Work with a lot of people in the military, and a lot of people don't understand how nerdy the military really is. You will find tons of third party, like Lackey said in the chat, third party critical role. Yes, is everybody thinks, the military is like, it's super manly and everything. Yeah, we go out and we shoot guns. We go out and we eat sticks and go to war. But you, especially in something like the infantry, you can only have so many just strong dumb people that you send in one direction. D6 System Rock, go military nerds. I like that. Because once you've reacted to contact, you can only go so far. You have to have somebody that's smart enough to lead people. I had a friend, he was just an E4 in Afghanistan, really smart dude. They reacted to contact, and he had an NCO and an officer both freeze. And because they'd never been deployed, and, you never know how you're going to be until until quote unquote shit hits the fan. I remember the first rocket attack I was in. I had a captain like freak out and was trying to put out a fire with a fire extinguisher that didn't work, and it was like, "Hey, sir." I put out the fire. I was like, "Hey, go get your men. Tell them to get their helmets. Let's get cover." Blah blah blah. And then after everything was over, he was like, "Man, please don't tell anybody that I couldn't think of anything." I was like, "Just make sure that next time it happens, you're better off." And I found out he was actually doing great, and he was in a bad situation. His first sergeant had just been nearly killed, and so he's now fresh captain with no senior NCO assistant. So anyways, E4 friend, react to contact, infantry, sergeants kind of freezing up, lieutenants not knowing what to do. So as an E4, he starts shouting commands of what to do next, and they go with it. And then when it was actually pretty awesome, because both of them recognized that they kind of failed, and he actually led their people through, and then they actually put him in for a battlefield promotion. He got promoted to be a sergeant. Still in. He's actually should be a first sergeant here shortly. They're I know Neon Lords. It says, "Hey, there is some smart 11 Bravos," and it's funny. 11 Bravos infantry. It's funny how many 11 Bravos infantry guys in the Army I have met that have advanced degrees or members of Mensa, stuff like that. I just so Mid Iowa Gamer said, "Are you going to have more dice pucks made?" I just actually emailed him like 4 or 5 hours ago because a bunch sold, and I don't know why. So it's not supposed to have gone to sold out, because it's supposed to be every month they make them. So I think somebody just kind of pressed a button wrong. So somebody said delicious crayons. That's because there's Marines on screen. Yes, we all know Marines are crayon eaters. Even my nephew-in-law, my niece's husband, is a former Marine. Dice puck, yes. So if you go to level 1 dice and you look up Alexandria RPG, you'll find these dice pucks. As soon as they're back in, I don't know if they're gonna I don't know if you can order. How they've been flagged as sold out. So let me talk about this article, and then we'll go look at something with the dice pucks real quick. So this whole article is talking about embracing your nerdiness and how you can use gaming, especially role-playing games, to get better at briefing, especially intel. And as you go up through the ranks in the military, you have to brief, and some jobs in the military brief way more than others, even at lower ranks. Had a friend that was a major. He went to work at the Pentagon, thought he was going to be awesome. If you're a major at the Pentagon, you're getting the coffee for the guy that's getting notes for the guy that's going to report to the man that's going to report to the colonel that's going to go brief the general. So he said when he walked into a briefing and there was a E4 there, that meant that E4 was supposed to be there, and he was going to take notes for someone else. Because if you're like an E4, E5, whatever, going into a big meeting to brief, that means you either made the briefing or have gathered the briefing bits from a bunch of other enlisted members, and you're going to go brief people so they can go out and make the decisions in the greater military world. So this article is just talking about how role-playing games, especially being a GM, is great for you to be able to become better at briefing. And man, I've seen some great leaders in the military that are wonderful with like one-on-one with troops, and they can get them like excited and go out. But they stand up in front of a formation and they're like, and it's like, man, if you could just find a way. And it's funny because I've had this tool, and I mean that's probably why I was always decent at briefing everyone, because I played my first role-playing game at 4, so totally not a normal child. Let's look up some dice. Level, come on. Hello, wake up, keyboard. Level up dice. Bloop. Go to, hey, there we go. Yeah, so currently we're set at sold out. I don't know why. So I just sent them an email about it because we actually sold a bunch. I know I'm not a normal adult either. How many normal adults say, let me start a role-playing game library and travel all over the country and convince my friends to come help me, and then make friends with people all over the country that also make role-playing games and go do silly things like get everybody excited about playing role-playing games. So if you don't know who the Level Up Dice are, they're pretty awesome. They make some amazing dice. They're out of Australia, but they have a ton of, I think they have an Australia and a US office. And for every one of these sold, we get $5 back. Yes, it's a trap. See, it's less of a money pit than a boat, and I think it's more entertaining. So the definition of a boat is a hole in the water that you throw money into. The definition of a role-playing game library is something that you drive around the nation sharing with people, throwing money into. But I think this is for myself and the board members. I hope it is a better endeavor than buying a boat and not catching fish. So you can see how awesome the dice are. We actually took these photos on the counter at PAX last year. Amazing what a good editor can do, cutting all these out and putting them on a nice little white sheet. But yes, as soon as these get added back, hopefully we'll be good to go. They're really awesome. If you're going to be at PAX Unplugged or PAX West or PAX Unplugged, I'll make sure I have our demo dice to show you. Let's see. Okay, next one. This is not an RPG, but man, so many of us are so excited. So we love Paranoia. There's a new version of Paranoia that will be printed soon. It's in PDF format, and absolutely love Paranoia. And Steve Jackson Game is now making Munchkin Paranoia, which, oh my god, because Munchkin is, stab your friends in the back. Paranoia is you're murdering and turning in all the other people sitting at the table all the time. It's like you have 6 clones, and if you're doing a one shot and you make it to the end of the game, you've not done the game right. So this will be coming out in 2024. Super excited. Friend Computer is going to be the deck, and you're going to be you're going to be constantly destroyed sitting at the table. It's awesome. This is a match that only the computer could have come up with. Races equal mutations, classes equal secret societies, level equals your color clearance, monster, your fellow citizens of Alpha Complex, mostly. Victory equals reach high programmer status. And Steve Jackson says, I've been a Paranoia fan since the very first edition. I didn't play Paranoia until 2nd edition, and I have loved it ever since. Yes, just in time for original, the first edition of Paranoia came out in 1984, so it'll be the 40th anniversary next year, not the 35th. And first edition coming out in 1984 is even more, just apropos. and I've gone back and played first edition. I played second edition. I've played fifth edition. I played XP. I've played one game of the last one that came out with the cards that made everybody terrorists instead of communists, and then I've read through all the rules of the new one. Yes. First edition came out in 1984, and third edition came out in 1987. I was introduced to second edition. I've already talked about this. Let's see. This is talking about, there was an interview with somebody on the design team, Jeremy Crawford, and everybody's talking about, all these classic stuff coming back, they're just going to be one-shots. And he's trying to reassure people that they're not going to be one-shots. They're going to have more stuff coming out for them. I hope they do, because I would like to see them make a good Spelljammer project. It was pretty. It was kind of well put together at points, but there was things that they just missed the boat on. Like, all the ships should have different speeds, stuff like that. There was things I think they really rushed to get that product out, and they can kind of fix in more product. Let's see. I was going to talk about this. This was a big 1D&D survey. This was August 11th, and I'm going to kind of skip over it because they're already working on their next survey. Let's see. Get ready to face the Whispering Tyrant in Pathfinder Gallowspire Survivors. So this was announced recently. So there's a new Pathfinder Gallowspire Survivors coming out soon. Vigigame. So I love this because if they're doing enough to get maybe a cool video game, there's getting some more traction. Let's see. Modifius. So we just got. It was funny because at Gen Con they donated a copy of Dream Machines, which was awesome, and then they are bringing out. So that's Dreams and Machines, the Star Trek Lower Decks campaign guide. While I don't find the humor, I find the humor like they're recycling Rick and Morty jokes. I find the setting super cool. And then all the new solo journaling. So the Star Trek Adventures Captain's Log is a solo journaling RPG. I just love that they called it the Captain's Log, and you can get it in different So this is the original series. Then Next Gen, Voyager, and late Deep Space Nine. And then this is the newer stuff that predates. This is the newer stuff. Yeah. Brain work, good go. So Starfinder Second Edition is coming. This was announced back in August 3rd, but we missed this somehow. So I was going to talk about it last week when everything went brah. But talking to someone this weekend that's kind of seen some stuff, they said it's kind of bringing it in line with Pathfinder Second Edition, and this will be under the new Orc instead of the old OGL. And a lot of people are scared that Pathfinder Second Edition is getting an update that is mostly they're gonna make some clarifications and the like, and they're going to go through, and it's going to be under the new Orc instead of the old OGL. Where can you buy Gen Con's any winning RPGs? So I'm just going to copy this link into chat. What is Orc? Orc is, so earlier this year there was the at the end of last year and the beginning of this year there was the debacle with the open gaming license, and Orc is the open RPG. Oh geez. Oh. I forget what the C stands for. It's like Creative Commons or something like that. Let's see. Open RPG Creative. So, and it is a like you read through it. It's the library signed on to be part of this before it was released, so I got to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and it was kind of cool because they really stood up for this to be a core license for your game, not a license agreement between each company, because there were like people like, oh, we've got to have language things in here, we have to have this in here, we need to have this, and they kept pitching, and they were smaller companies or game designers that weren't working for companies, and the pushback from the people actually designing it, they said, this is just for your core rules. No one gets to use the name of your characters, any of that. That is all still, covered under that. If you want to have a stronger language agreement, something, then that's a license between your company about your property and the people making it. Because even though all the Pathfinder stuff was released under the OGL and is now going to be under the new Orc, if you want to make something Pathfinder, you actually have to sign a license with Paizo, and like they're pretty strict on what can be produced using their names, which I really think is awesome. All the Orc does is if somebody goes, hey, I really like Pathfinder 2nd Edition rules, they can now take all the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rules, strip all the Pathfinder names and characters and everything out, and use it. And they don't have to recreate rules that are already been made. Where did my mouse go? I lost my mouse. There we go. That's what happens when you have multiple screens. So I hope crap, because the C. I hope that that clears up what the Orc is. So yeah. So the update to Pathfinder 2nd Edition is coming out, and it's going to be using the new Orc, and all the updates to Starfinder are going to make it a little closer to what Pathfinder 2nd Ed is with the new Orc. Let's see. I already talked about that. One of the books that was donated, the swashbuckling game from Basic Action Games. This is this is what he just had up on Kickstarter, and it is already available in PDF format. So if you pick up his swashbuckling game, Honor and Intrigue, this is a swashbuckling supplement for his swashbuckling game, Honor and Intrigue. Whew. Okay, anybody out there that doesn't want to get into Kickstarters and other crowdfunding, here is your chance. And 5, 4, 3, 3 3/4, 2 1/8, 1. Let's see. We're going to be speaking with Tim Beach, the creator of this, tomorrow. So this is a start here. They have 15 days to go. They've met their goal. And Tim has worked in the industry for a number of years, and we'll go over all this tomorrow. And we'll actually, if you tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll get to learn a little more about Start Here and all the fun stuff. Hopefully fun stuff. I know he's got a demo video on here. He is working on getting a kind of a teaser, the basics of the rules. Let's see. Cloudbreaker Alliance, counter-apocalyptic tabletop RPG. Reunite lost civilizations and reclaim a world shattered by monsters in this boundary-breaking tabletop RPG. And this is out of Australia. I didn't know that. I mean, we're all gonna have to turn the book over once it gets here. But I know bad dad jokes about Australia being upside down. But all the Aussies I've worked with over the years, they're a little upside down. It's awesome. I love my Aussie friends. CJ Leung? I'm not saying that one right. First created 3 backs. At least he's back some. Always, we are always leery of people that have only, have never. They've got stuff they've created, but they haven't backed anything. Also, look in the other chats, and it looks like there's some people loving on Fate and D6 Star Wars. JF Travis says he has almost all the West End Game Star Wars D6 material. Greatest game ever made. I know. Somebody's going to say Neon Lords of the Apocalypse is number 1. Don't look at my back to numbers, please. Let's see. Rig, a single-player Souls-like mech RPG. This one's out of Vancouver, Canada. I wonder if they're on fire right now. Oh, I know, bad joke. I hope they're nowhere near. My sister-in-law is 13 kilometers away from the fire right now. Apparently, it's currently stalled and not coming closer to her property. It's 7 miles in American units. So, you're alive. Good. What do you remember? Do you know your Mars songs? Do I know my Mars songs? I don't know. Were you born on real ground? I don't know. Do you remember Earth's hand reaching out to steal from the stars? Those are all good questions. Looks like a cute little game. Doesn't look like overly complex. Ooh, a Terracogna scatter pod. I don't even know what that does, but it sounds cool. Reclaim Blade Core. Combatant Biped Boosters. Millsoft Bullpup. Let's see, for $3 Canadian, you can get the digital PDF on the financial hardship. For $15, well, it's nice to see that there's more people that have done the PDF at normal price than it is. I like it when people offer this, but I also get a little frustrated because I know that there's going to be people like, oh, I'll buy it for $3. But also it is sales, and a PDF is. How many of those 88 backers wouldn't have backed at all at $15 if he's going and has it at $3? And it is nice to see more people have backed at $15. And wow, $23 Americans. You can get the printed copy, and he's got a lot more backers at that. That's nice. Then that's it. Wow, he's doing pretty good for just three different, and he's got 7 created. Nice. Let's see. Badge Quest. This one looked kind of cute. Holy cow, man! When I looked at it last week, it was nowhere near this. Wow. So it was like at 20 or 30,000 last week or something like that. Holy tease. Wow, they're almost 120,000. Jeez, Norman, Oklahoma. So next stretch goal is 130,000. So just the minis digital. Oh, that's cool. You can just buy the minis. That's neat. Digital only, $35. Just the minis is $40. So if you just want the minis, hardcover and PDF is $55. Core set that gets you the book and the PDF and dice and a screen and stuff for $85. That's not bad. And then Peach set adds a whole bunch of extra for $165. Ooh. $200 gets you the cherry set. I like peaches better than cherries. So, Badge Quest is from DM Dave. Oh yeah. So DM Dave's done a bunch of cool stuff, and every time he's in an event and has a table. I go by and he's never there. And then apparently he stopped by the library and I'm never there. So one of these days, I might meet DM Dave. Does the library do giveaways on extra items? So if we're given specific things to help raise funds, we do. So like we have somebody that's coming to PAX West that is going to run some games, and he is donating 6 books to help us raise funds with. So we can either do... you have a good night there, Mid-Iowa Gamer. Take care. But yes, if we're donated stuff specifically to do that, then we do. And we don't do it with other stuff that we... yes, I know you need that GM stuff tomorrow. I will get it to you hopefully tonight or in the morning, depending on if he has answered my email yet. So if we haven't done a complete inventory of what we have. So once we have gotten a complete inventory, if there's something like second ed D&D, we've got a bunch of some of that, I know. So we may do like a cool little package deal to help raise funds. But currently all we do is books were given specifically for that. Let's see. Riders of the Burp Warp and Warp Shine Runners double feature. Hey, some knucklehead probably needs to update this as funded in like 2 minutes, because I know he only wanted like $2,000 and he has, almost 10 grand. Hey, it's Andrea. How the heck are you functioning? Hey, I went to work this morning with the SUV still packed with 2,000 pounds of books, and everybody's like, dude, you need to get your rear shocks checked. I was like, no, there's a librarian there. And I got home, made some spaghetti, and drank some caffeine so that I could get going for this. Yeah, you half funded in 30 seconds is the tagline Neon Lords wants to put on that. Yes, I you know what? You need to put that tagline on here. Half funded in 30 seconds. I like that. Because it was funny because he did a live launch of this and it was funded in nothing flat. It was awesome. So I'm looking forward to this, mostly because I've become big friends of Mr. Neon Lords RPG, and I may or may not talk about this a bunch because it hits really close to things that I absolutely love in the world as well. Hang on. Hello there, sir. You're giant. Oh my god. Someone wanted in. Yes, excellent. Not just Kitty. This is Nunzio. Destroyer of absolutely nothing. He's afraid of things that aren't me. 21 pounds of, oh god, Dad's not here. I mean, it was like 12 years before he was willing to go outside. Yeah, he woke up and discovered that he wasn't near me, so he doesn't like anybody but me. Anyways, let's look at here. Brian Shutter made this game, and he's created 3 and 2.5 and backed 89. So, because you've got less back than I do. Nunzio's not very relaxed. He's just happy to be around me. If anybody else was around, Nunzio would be like, rah! High-strung and full of anxiety. He doesn't like not me. It's taken him months to get used to the kitten that's come into the home, wherever she's at, Minerva. But she loves to do flying leaps into the chair he's sitting in to cuddle with him and roll over and bite him on the neck. Okay, let's see. What kind of support can we do for Neon Lords? You can toss them $1. Hey, you got 6 backers at $1. $20 gets you the PDF of either. 30 gets you the soft cover of either. 35 gets you both books in PDF. Well, that's only $5 more for both. 55 gets you both softies. And Randy's Lord's Acolyte, because I can't speak English, $90. You've achieved sainthood, and your name shall be written in the Savage One's list of exalted names. I'm pretty sure my name better be in there. So in the chat, Andrea is the organizer for the event we were at this weekend, Dragonflight, and she left like 5 o'clock in the morning every day. She said her alarm slept like a baby until her alarm went off. Way too early. I concur. Mine went off way too early as well. Way too early. What is the blue poster in the back? Oh, so blue poster. Let me see if I can figure this out. Somebody asked on. So the blue poster in the background. See if I can get out of the way. These are banners from PAX. Yeah. So this was the far one is the 2014 banner, showing you where stuff is on the convention center. And then this one is the RPG zone from, I don't know what year. Almost every year that we've done PAX or Emerald City, I've been able to snag a banner, and we actually have one that says like RPGs, hosted by Alexandria RPG. It's like, woo! Oh, and I'm explaining all this in an ad on Twitch. We've got an ad break. No. Okay. Ad break? Okay. So, I don't know how much of that you missed, but this is a banner for a 2014 PAX, and then this is a banner from, I don't remember what year PAX, showcasing the RPG zone. And we've snagged these from almost every PAX in Emerald City. So if there's like really cool signage that directs you to role-playing games or has our name on it, we snag it. And one, I gotta dig that one out, but I have one that says role-playing games like brought to you by Alexandria RPG or something from PAX. Awesome. I can't wait to see if it says anything. If you download the PAX Nav app and you go to, hang on, I'm gonna pull up PAX Nav app. Where'd you go? PAX Nav. Morale. What's up, buddy? He's like, you're not paying attention to me. PAX Nav. Boop-a-doo. So, let's see. We'll go to special guests. Who's the first special guest there? It's Alexandria RPG. We're the first special guest. I mean, it's alphabetical, and I didn't pick Alexandria because of being alphabetical, but I picked it because, well, the library. But we're the first thing. We're the specialist guest. We're the specialist guest. Let's see. So I hope that explains the banners behind me, and I will I'll try to talk about stuff like that more in these. So if anybody does have questions, and I'm going to figure out how to get a combined chat where everything goes to one screen. Okay. Oh, I was reading Lord Randy's Acolyte. You have achieved sainthood, and your name shall be written in the Savage One's list of exalted names. Literally. Not only will you get both softcovers and PDFs, but Mustafa, one of the artists, will also draw your Neon Lord's character. The art will be black and white, non-portrait, and no background. No background. Let's see. Okay, everybody knows where they can go back this silliness. We do love Brian and his Neon Lords. It's such a fun, silly game. It is fun. Night, Andrea. We all love you. Keep making awesome conventions. Welcome to the Splatter League. This is out of Austin, Texas. A superpowered tabletop RPG of unmitigated chaos and collateral damage. Third created the Madness Heart Games. So it looks violent, definitely not for children. But children at heart. So $10, don't clutter up your bookshelf. Grab the digital edition. $30 gets you the electronic. Electronic copies are fine and good, but there's nothing like a nice hardcover for bludgeoning your enemies into submission. $40 gets you both, and I suppose we can. Let's see. What's that? Not only do you want a beautiful hardcover of Splatter League, you want author John Boltzberger to personalize it and sign it for you. Well, I suppose we can make that work. I like that. Supreme Villain. Do you want to be part of the Splatter League? Why not? At this tier, you get to work with John and an artist to design a villain that is included in the book. Design their look, their powers, and their scheme, creating something that players have to battle. Well, it's a librarian. That's my go-to. You carry the fire. So I brought this up because they're doing really well. So Shadow Dark isn't even fully out yet. People have the PDFs, but there's people making what looks to be really good content already for Shadow Dark. I cannot wait to get my hands on the Shadow Dark physical rule set. Let's see. Game found. Fighting Fantasy Adventures, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and Other Stories. Whew, it's almost $100,000. That's crazy. Let's see. Choose your rewards. $60 gets you Zagar's Loot. Bundle containing the core pledge and selected add-ons. So, Spectator, $1. Treasure Chest, 1 copy of the game and all stretch goals. VAT-friendly treasure chest. Oh, you live in the UK or EU, you're going to have a VAT. Sorry, tax is never a value-added thing. I don't know how they got away with calling it a value-added tax, but that is the most not friendly term ever. Let's see. Loaded treasure chest. Get your hands on a rare prototype sample adventure. Signed. Minotaur's Horde. 4-decks bundle containing the core pledge and selected add-ons. Taxation without representation. Well, it's the value added tax. It's like, is it you're being taxed because you're importing something that's going to add value to your culture? I've just never understood what a value added tax is. Like, how does this add? How is this like a term? What does it mean? We're charging you tax on something that's going to add value to your life. Humble Bundle, Traveler. Love Traveler. Love the original Traveler. Got to meet at Gen Con. Got to meet the author of the original Traveler. He signed one of the books on our little box set, and he commented on how well loved that box set is. It was traveled a lot by the previous owner. Grew up a military brat, and he's moved a few times. And now he's a mental health professional now. But through the years, now Mongoose is publishing Traveler, and it's a really good system. It's a great add-on. So $18 gets you 16 items. You get we get a lot of stuff. And core rule update for last year. I think there's core rule the Central Supply catalog update for this year, the Field catalog, the Glorious Empire. There's got to be a core book in here somewhere. No, this one wants you to have the core rulebook. Usually they have a core rulebook in here, but there's a lot of cool stuff in this one. I dig these bundles. Pathfinder Tales. So this isn't rules, these are Pathfinder books. So I like the Pathfinder world that they created. I've never been a huge fan of the Pathfinder rules. Even when it was D&D 3.75, I think they got a little too crunchy for my taste. I know lots of people that love it, and more power to them. That's why there's bazillions of games out there. And when Savage World, when they released Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, I backed it, got it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And those are rules after my own heart, even though they kind of crunchied up some of some of those rules. Value-added tax is the opposite of the Patriot Act. neither of them are good. But if you want to get into the Pathfinder world a little deeper, here is a great way to pick up a bunch of books to sit down and read. Get your e-reader some work. There are 41 books for $25. That's pretty bitchin'. It's kind of rad. And tabletop resources. This is still has 11 days. It's not. There was one that was about to run out. Let's see. Pay at least $18 for these 32 items. The Great Book of Random Tables, the Book of Random Tables Quests, Random Tables Science Fiction, Random Tables Cyberpunk, Inns and Taverns, Random Tables 4, 5, Random Tables Fantasy Shops, Fantasy Space, Fantasy 50 Towns and Cities for Fantasy Tabletop, the Book of Random Tables Quests 3, the No Prep Game Master, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Random Tables. I do have to say, being a great GM, you've got to find that balance between planning and pulling crap out your ass. And stuff like this can really help because you're not over planning. You have silly things like this for when players throw a curveball at you because they love to do it. These stuff like this is great. Random Tables Modern, Cyberpunk 2, Science Fiction 3, Steampunk, Ancient World, Facility Generator. Oh, that's kind of new. I want to play with that. The King's Road, Terrain Guide, Random Tables 2, Random Tables 3, Dungeons, 51 Dungeons for Fantasy, Quest 2. Why do I have the hiccups all of a sudden? My friend wants me to take improv classes with her, which she's taking for role-playing. Yes, improv classes can help, especially, if you're not naturally comfortable taking improv class, acting out and just being silly, doing voices and stuff. I don't really do voices much. I'll do a slight accent or whatever, but I change my mannerisms. I move my hands around a little more. I'll look, I will give like improvisational like facial stuff when I GM. But if you're not even comfortable going there, improv classes can really break you out of that. There's a door. Roll to get in. Okay, you get in. It'll really help out a lot. And if you are, comfortable being in front of people, it will help you kind of be a little more creative getting out and doing things because they're like, okay, you're in a room, there's one chair. What do? I sit in it. Oh my god, there's so many more random tables. Random tables 60s and 70s, and they show a hippie bus. I love it. Meow. And we're on to our last page. Especially if you're going with someone, an improv class can be a lot of fun, and it'll definitely make you a better GM, and it will make you a better player, just as long as you don't end up overshadowing the other players at the table. As the GM, you can overshadow yourself, because you, as a good GM, you shouldn't be stomping on the toes of players, but you should be entertaining. Okay, let's go with Every Win. The starter collection is $8. So you get Every Win rulebook. I don't know Every Win. I'm going to have to look this up. Pulse Pounding Pulp. I like pulp stuff. Every Win Adventures. Darkness Supernatural Creatures. And if you go to the bonus collection, you get up to $15.32. You get Weird Sales. Badass Vikings versus Mythos Monsters in Everwin. and 5 Everwind settings and adventures: the Blood Sundown, Dragon by the Bay, Neopunk Crisis, Escape from Old Tokyo, and Red Venus. Yes, I said Venus. Let's see. Rules Light, Universal RPG, the 13th Planet games based on Simon Washburn's cult classic Sword and Sorcery fantasy RPG Barbarians of Luminaria, adapting the fast, fun BOL 2D6 base system and character. Okay, so it's just 2D6. Nice. I still don't know it. I'll have to check that one out. Does look kind of nifty. Ooh, Blue Rose. Blue Rose ended yesterday. I swear I refreshed this. Okay, so Everyone has 20 days left. Historica Arcanum. It's $19. It has 13 days left. Let's see. You got Empires of the Silk Road, Herald of Rain, the City of Crescent. What is this? These are 4 5e. So they're historical settings. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, hello there, little one. Come here. Oh. Stop attacking Nunzio. Oh. There. You saw how big Nunzio was. Here's Minerva. She's so tiny. She's like 5-ish pounds. And he's 20-something pounds. And she's like, I want to go beat him up. Meow. Meow. You are so tiny. Went from having like the most massive cat, who's not fat, just giant, to also having a tiny, tiny cat. Let's see. Hyboria, 3rd edition. Trying to remember who put this out. Let's see. Northwind Adventures. I thought it was put out by somebody else. Well, the Hyboria 3rd edition 3E is $13. You get the player and referee manuals, the Atlas of Hyboria, the Late Trapper's Lament, and Hyboria referee screen. So, $13 gets you a pretty cool fantasy sci-fi pulp thing. I'm trying to really how to describe the world. Let's see. The isolated land beyond the North Wind is a flat hexagonal realm hemmed in by the mysterious Boreas. In the unchanging scarlet radiance of bloated dying sun, rolling seas spill eternal over the world's rim. In the land of perpetual decay, historic cataphracts, pyromancers, rune graves, purloiners, ledger... Oh, jeez, you're killing me with these words here! And subliminary Gnoth Yiddix delve dungeons and ruins, explore frontiers, and plunder gold and treasure. Whew. It has 6 days left. Demon Lord Legacies. $13. You get 5 Legacies of Shadow, Forgotten People and Places in the lands of Rule, 4 Paths of Shadow, and 17 Poison Pages. Say that one twice fast. 17 Poison Pages. 17 Poison Pages. And then if you go up to $27.24, you get all that, plus Occult Philosophy, Queen of Gold, and 21 Monstrous Pages. Ooh. And it's not just 21 pages. This is 200 pages of monsters. These 17 Poison Pages is 100 pages of monsters. Nice. To Pulsar just checked, said the City of Crescent from Historica Arcanum was a runner-up for best cover art at the Ennies. And yes, Minerva is adorable. She is a long, tiny cat. Let's see, Shadow of the Demon Lord. Shadow of the Demon Lord. $8 will get you Shadow of the Demon Lord. Oh, this was up a couple months ago. Demon Lord's Companion, Uncertain Faith. Oh, there's more to it. This is a lot more than what was in the other one. Dark Deeds of in Last Hope, and the Demon Lord screen. Then, if you go up to $18.89, you can get all that, plus Hunger in the Void, Tombs of the Desolation, A Glorious Death, Terrible Beauty, Exquisite Agony, Tales of the Demon Lord. The end begins here. So, I've actually been wanting to check this out. It does look pretty nifty. And I've actually heard really good stuff about this. So, this ends in 8 days and 23 hours. I'm going to click over to store because sometimes they have some cool stuff. Hey, look. Sweet, $25 you can get the PDF version of the Traveler Little Black Book. So, you get book 01 through 03, the 81 editions, the Lost Rule Supplement. You get SO, that's 1001 characters, SO2 Animal Encounters, SO8 and 11 Library Data 1 and 2, S12 Forms and Charts, and I got dust up my nose. Oh. And then Classic Travel Orientation Pack. But that's just in the store, so that's not got a timer on it. Original Traveler's a lot of fun. Ooh, Old School Champions 4th edition, super awesome. Played tons of this. Old School's Essentials, Delta Green. God, I gotta stay away from that. I'm just looking at the limited time offers. Okay, it has been awesome, and I'm glad to see we're getting chats on the other because we've only been getting chats on Twitch for ages. Now we got actual people chatting on YouTube and Rumble and Twitch. Oh my, oh my. I'm going to just have to create like a chat thing that everybody goes to. I don't know. But thank you all for tuning in. Man, we had 25 people watching on YouTube at one point. We were up to like 12 here on Twitch. And I think we were like 7 or 8 over on Rumble. That's awesome. Love it. We're growing everything out. And thank you all for tuning in. There's tons of books. Can't wait to play Burger Punk. I'm going to have to learn this. Excited to share my love of the D6 system with the D6 books. And so many more books donated. We've got tons more stuff on the way. Tomorrow we've got all our Everyday Heroes books. We've got a couple people that'll be running that at PAX West, I believe. And they've been awesome. We've just been chatting back and forth. They've sent us a ton of stuff, and our GMs that actually run that, the publisher's actually going to through the library help them. They're going to give them $25 a session, so it helps cover the cost of having good GMs come in. If you can help out the library, whether you're subscribing or following or whatever on whatever platform we're on, you can go to our website, see how you can support us via Patreon. We have storage fees every month. We have fuel costs getting to and from events, and sometimes we have to purchase books. So if there's anything that you can do to help us, I'm not saying that you have to drop it. If you're going to miss a bill, do not give us anything. But if you have a few extra bucks and you can assist us, please do. I've got to get better about doing this because those of us on the board cannot continue to fund this. We have to get more assistance from the industry and from the people out there. So until tomorrow, when we're going to chat with Tim Beach at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be chatting. And if you're part of our Patreon, you can submit questions, or if you're here chatting tomorrow or watching us chat, you can ask questions. I'm going to ask him hot dogs or tacos. That is one of our Patreon standard questions. We have somebody who gives us a couple bucks a month, so that I ask that to everybody. I've forgotten it a couple times, but let's see what Tim Beach likes, hot dogs or tacos. Until tomorrow, you awesome people, go out and game and sit down and enjoy some time with humans. Your time on this planet is short. Let's make the best of it. Be good people, playing fun and silly games. Till next time, the library is now closed.